later. What's up, guys? We are live. We have a good card this Saturday night. We have Darren Till versus Robert Whittaker, UFC Fight Island 3. And joining me in Kelton is a familiar face. We got Ricky fucking Jiu-Jitsu in the house. What's up, Jiu-Jitsu?
What's up, guys? OG Bro Pick in the house.
OG Bro Picks, and I cut him for Kelton. It is what it is. It's gonna cut him. He decided to have a kid and a family, and he's busy. Kelton, what's up, man?
What's up, man? I'm so pumped. It's good to have Ricky back on here. It's been quite a while since the three of us have been together, done a podcast, and we got 15 fights. We got some fun-ass fights, an insane main event, some bets. Let's do this, man. I'm ready.
Yeah, man. So we're going to recap the last card. We're going to do things differently tonight. We're just going to maybe choose our favorite fights tonight and all that stuff. I only had one bet, and it was I think it lasted 2 minutes. So what's the main event, obviously? Yeah, that was probably that's probably one of the best fights tonight. I mean, Joe B got destroyed. I mean, there's nothing else you can say. Davison is the best fighter in the division. I don't see him losing for a while. Other than that, the co-main event, Kelvin was looking good. I literally thought Kelvin was gonna pound him out, and all of a sudden, Jack fucking gets him into submission. A lot of people though are saying that Kelvin fucked up. I don't think so. I just think that Joker caught him. People are saying that was trash defense. I don't agree with that at all. Kelvin was trying to get up, and he just got, he got fucking heel hooked by a fucking legit fucking grappler. Trying to think what other fights I want to talk about quick on this card. Yeah, pretty much the Grant Dawson fight. I mean, that played out like I said. Grant Dawson, I think, will fight Austin Herbert at 55. But other than that, yeah, I'll let you guys take over. What do you guys, Ricky? What do you think about the card?
I thought it was a good card overall. Good amount of finishes. A lot of new faces, a lot of old faces. But I had 3 bets and I lost my bets. So just got to tighten them up. I bet on Lipski, the newcomer Carlos Felipe, and Dalby Ramos. I really messed up. They were pretty much bad bets all around, and just got to tighten up and do better next one. Someone I should have bet on was Rafael Fiziev. I thought he did a really he showed really good performance, and I kind of thought he was live. I don't know what was, but I just was hesitant to pull the trigger. But he's really good. Tiger Muay Thai guys, I think, are killing it right now, and I don't know. I was pretty impressed with Jack Hermanson with that heel hook. Kelvin, I don't know. I don't know. Hard to say he fucked up, but I would have to rewatch to answer that, to see what happened. But I mean, I'm not gonna say he fucked up. Was really impressed with Jack Hermanson and what he did. He got reversed from the takedown. I thought Kelvin was gonna beat his ass, to tell you the truth, when I saw that. And then all of a sudden, I see Jack Hermanson recover guard. And then all of a sudden, he gets Kevin Gastelum in a heel hook, and he just taps right away. I was pretty impressed with that, and of course the main event. Figueroa, probably one of the most devastating strikers at the 125 division. I don't think anyone is going to want to strike with that guy. If you do, I think you're in for a really tough night. I think he's a grappler is probably going to have the best luck against him, because I just think he hits way too hard for that division, and you can tell. Joey B was just a bad matchup. Another fight I regret not betting was Figueroa, because after the first fight, kind of can see how the second fight was going to go down, and man, he just put on a great performance. So it's pretty cool to have a new champ. He's going to be pretty entertaining, and I'm excited to see what fights he's going to have in the future. Him versus Baby Assassin or Assassin Baby is going to be super sick. So hopefully they set that one up. What about you, Kelton?
Yeah, man. It was a really, really fun night of fights. And first and foremost, congrats on the new undisputed flyweight champion, Davison Figueiredo. Just domination, bell to bell. And honestly, man, I mean, if you watched that first fight and somehow didn't think that Davison was about to repeat pretty much the exact same thing, I mean, I don't know how anybody saw it going differently. It was just bad matchup for Joe B. And Joe B had a way better chance last time because he wasn't coming off a concussive knockout shortly after. So, I mean, this was just a nightmare from beginning to end. Davison, he broke the DK slate. Shout out to him. And I actually went 3-2. I had a winning night, 4.87 units. Jack Hermanson, that was a good one, man. Like, I got a little worried at first. I won't lie to you guys. When Kelvin reversed that takedown, got on top, but then I was like, Kelvin, why are you just sitting here? Let's get up. And I mean, if he's gonna win, you want to strike with Jack Hermanson, but he was kind of just sitting on the ground a little bit. And then, he sat in his guard for about 20, 30 seconds before he decided to stand up, and then he got caught in a heel hook. I mean, you don't want to be on the ground with Jack Hermanson when he has a full tank of gas. That was just, yeah,
and it's dry.
And it's dry. Good point, man. And then obviously Davison, I had him in a parlay with the newcomer Roman Delides. I thought that was a really good performance. So it was interesting because Kadis Brigamov, he definitely credit to him. He switched it up. He knew coming out being aggressive in the beginning of the fight wasn't going to work for him. Hasn't yet. So he took a more patient approach, and turns out the guy just isn't UFC level. I mean, he sucks, and he got caught by a way better striker, and Delides is super dangerous. He's going to knock some guys out in the UFC. I'm telling you guys right now. He's a decent prospect. Don't rush him, though, because he is only 7-0. I'm in the boat with Ricky. I lost on Luana Carolina. That was just a real ugly bet, man. That was just, I mean, out of all the ways I thought that fight would go, I mean, that was just like at the end of the list. But I'll give props to Ariane Lipski because, I mean, she definitely lived up to her nickname, the Violence Queen, with that kind of submission, dude. Like, man, she had Luana Carolina screaming in agony in the octagon. That was just I mean, vicious, man. Everybody, but you definitely got to give some props to Lipski there. And then a big one for me, man. I mean, I got to think this is probably my biggest underdog cash of 2020. Joel Alvarez, I got plus 305 odds on him against Joe Duffy. And, you know, he actually was looking pretty good on the feet too, man. Like, he was kind of doing what I thought he would do. He would use his length to his advantage, and that's what he was doing. Good distance management at first. He was landing some good kicks, some good shots. I mean, let's be honest, he was kind of outstriking Joe Duffy there for a little bit, and then Duffy goes to the takedown and just gets immediately guillotined. You can just tell this is a guy who probably just doesn't even want to do anything with the fight game anymore. It was most likely a case of the guy was showing up for a paycheck, took an easy opponent, and he probably didn't take Joel Alvarez seriously. He probably watched his fight against Danilo Belluardo and was like, holy shit, this Italian guy just took him down so easily. I'm just going to ragdoll this dude and sub him. And, man, you can't count out those guys with, like, extremely long limbs on the mat, especially if you're just going to immediately get caught in a guillotine like that. Just a really bad look. And I guess best wishes to Joe. He decided to call it a career. And then, again, I was with Ricky on this losing bet too, man. Carlos Felipe. And, man, I was watching this fight on my lunch break at work, and watching it live, I honestly thought he kind of he stole those first two rounds. And then in the third round, though, I know Justin's shaking his head, but I actually thought he got both those rounds, man. Definitely the first. I think second round was the one that was kind of up in the air. But hey, one judge agreed with me, but it didn't matter in the end. Sergey Spivak, he came out real strong in that third round and 10-8'd him easily. I mean, Felipe just had no answer whatsoever. So that was a bad bet. As far as anybody else on the card, I want to shout out. Ricky mentioned Fiziev. That was a coming out party if I've ever seen one. That was super impressive. Got to shout out Askar Askarov for going out there and beating a guy as high level as Alexandre Pantoja. Grant Dawson continues to get wins in the UFC. He's an all right prospect. He's actually moved up to 155 pounds. I just seen today. Brett Johns, man, he came out and beat a really highly touted prospect in Montel Jackson. He deserves a shout out. Amir Albazi came out, got a first round finish. That kid was pretty impressive. He could make waves in the flyweight division. I know that fight was at bantamweight, but those two guys are flyweights. And then last one to touch on is Arman Sarukian. That was a pretty dominant performance. That kid, I mean, sky's the limit for him. Super well rounded.
Yeah, man. Trying to think of any other fights we should talk about.
I brought up everyone, brother.
You talked about the Malcolm Gordon fight?
Yeah, I said Albazi was super impressive, and I think he can make waves in the flyweight division for sure.
Oh, okay. I'm going to call you out a little bit. I don't know if you're being serious or not, but you did say that your boy Roman Dolizzi would beat Jiri Prochaska. That is
No, I
my
did not say that, you jobber. When did I say that?
you said that the line should be close. That's embarrassing, bro. Prochaska should
Okay,
be
but did I not line
400.
Jiri the favorite?
You did say you would bet him at dog money. That's like sad, bro. That's
Okay, if you give me plus 200 odds.
Dude, you hate Jiri, bro, just because he fucking killed Volkan,
he had
bro.
something against Jiri.
Bro,
No,
Jiri, dude, Jiri's a beast, bro. Like straight up, he's a beast. He just went out there and knocked out fucking Ozdemir, bro. That was impressive.
Yeah, it was. It was very impressive.
So don't be hating on my boy. You're saying
Definitely not
Jiri,
hating. Definitely not.
You said Jiri should be minus 135. Come on.
I
dude.
said minus 150. I'm pretty sure.
No, it should be minus 9,000. All right.
Oh my god!
Just kidding. minus 400.
That's what he thinks because he won you a bet. So now he's a minus 900 favorite.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Sorry, I'm watching the Giants game in the background. Dodgers are fucking the biggest choke artists in the world. Okay, so first fight of the night. Speaking of minus 400, we got Nathaniel Wood versus John Castaneda, and I'll go first with this one. This is a pretty decent fight, honestly, for the first card or for the for first fight of the night. I don't think Castaneda is that bad. I think he's going to win fights in UFC. You know, he's a brawler. He fought a contender series. He's won 8, I think, on his last 10 fights. The only problem here is I think Wood is just better, pretty much better everywhere. But it's hard to trust Wood because the guy's chinny. Like in the past, I used to say he was chinny, kind of like joking around, but he really is. I mean, the guy just got knocked out by Dawson his last fight. He's been wobbling a lot of his fights, but he's so smart and so not smart. He's so fast on the feet and he's so technical and he's a really nasty Darce choke too. I think he's going to go out there and drop John and get him out of there on the mat. So I'm going to go with Nathaniel Wood with a first-round Darce. Kelvin, who do you got?
Yeah, man, this is going to be an exciting fight for sure, but I'll be honest, man. So it was supposed to be Nathaniel Wood versus old little Umar Nurmagomedov. That was going to be a really fucking good fight, man. And Nathaniel Wood was like a plus 150 underdog there. I never actually like looked into it because it was kind of far out, but I was actually looking at an underdog. I was going to, look into betting Nathaniel Wood as a plus 150 dog there because, I mean, dude, this guy's been minus 300 in all his fights. Like, and he loses one fight to a perennial ranked guy in John Dodson, and you're going to give me plus 150 odds on against Umar Nurmagomedov. I mean, just because of name value. So kind of disappointed that fight got canceled, but now we got this kid, John Castaneda, who it's kind of weird, man. I first looked into it and I saw that he lost 2 out of his last 3 fights, which is definitely not a good look, especially when, we're talking about Combate, which, let's not kick around. Combate is not the highest level regional organization around. And man, he does have a win over former UFC fighter Chris Beal. He actually knocked him out in the second round. But if you look at Chris Beal's record, I don't think he's won a single fight since he's been cut from the UFC, and he's been knocked out like 5 times too. So I wouldn't even look too much into that win, man. But when it comes to how they match up stylistically, like Castaneda, yeah, he throws leather. It's not the prettiest though. And Nathaniel Wood, Justin's right. He is a little bit chinny. I just think it won't matter because Nathaniel Wood is much, he's been in there with much higher level competition. Cage Warriors champion. I do believe he has the more technical boxing. I just think he moves better in there. He's going to be more comfortable in there too. Obviously, this kid's making his debut, so I see him getting the better of the feet, and where I see him having the biggest advantage is the grappling. So I think Nathaniel Wood's going to take a smart approach here, get back in the win column, take him down, and I'll say he chokes him out in the second round.
Who do you got, Ricky?
Yeah, gonna Kelton pretty much nailed it. I pretty much agree with him. I really only think this John Castaneda guy is getting the call because of Omar dropping out, and they pretty much need a fighter to be there and fight Nathaniel Wood on short notice. Sure, he's gonna get a. So he got the fight at UFC notice, so he's gonna get a beating to get into the UFC. Kind of how it goes sometimes, But I'm going to have Nathaniel Wood. I just think he's better everywhere. He's a better grappler, better striker. He has nice leg kicks, and I think he's going to piece him up in the feet. And if John Castaneda wants to shoot in on him, I think he can smash him on the mat too. But I'm going to go with Nathaniel Wood here for either decision or dominant decision or finish second, third round.
Yeah, just to warn everybody, I'm actually picking a lot of favorites in this card. I feel like this is a juice heavy card, man. There's a lot of favorites I think are gonna win.
Yeah, big time.
Speaking of favorites, next fight we got Ramzan Ameev versus Nicholas Stoltz. Kelvin, who do you got in this fight?
Man, I think this is another mismatch, and I have to say, out of the entire card, obviously you got Chimaev sitting at minus 1,200. There's a bunch of other big favorites around though, but I'm gonna come out here and say Ramzan Ameev should be the second highest favorite on the card here, just because, man, I have seen nothing that will tell me this kid Nicholas Stoltz is going to be able to stop the grappling and clinch game of Ramzan Ameev. Really, Stoltz's best chance here is obviously the striking. If Ameev has a in his game, it's his striking. But this kid, Nicholas Stoltz, isn't even that great of a striker, too. And his power, I mean, he doesn't even really have power, man. He has one knockout, I think, in the last 5 years. And I watched that fight. So this guy he fought that he knocked out 2 fights ago, Draxler. Draxler came in super wrestle-heavy game plan. Took this kid down, Stoltz, easily. I will give Stoltz credits, though. He got back up a couple times, but this kid kept on taking him back down again. He got like 3 takedowns, and he completely gassed out 3 minutes into the fight. And then Stoltz just teed off on this guy that was just completely done. I mean, it was kind of an epic quit job, if you ask me. So that's this guy's one knockout win in the last 5 years. So, I mean, that right there just tells me that, I mean, if he's not knocking guys out on the regional scene, what – is he really going to come out here and knock out Ramzan Ameev? Probably not. Is he going to be able to avoid the clinch and takedowns of Ameev long enough to win rounds via striking? Probably not, man. So just any kind of method of victory here for Nicholas Stoltz, it just sounds extremely low percentage to me. I actually might even say Ramzan Ameev might even be should be an even higher favorite than Chimaev, just because Ramzan Ameev already has a few UFC fights and against real good competition too. And this kid Stoltz, I mean, he's not good, man. I won't go into it any further, but Ameev, pure domination here. I mean, he's not a finisher. Maybe he gets his first win inside the octagon. He has some nice finishes outside the UFC, but more than likely it'll probably be like a 30-26 decision.
Who do you got, Ricky?
Yeah, like you said earlier, this is a pretty juice heavy card. I'm gonna have a lot of favorites here too, and I'm gonna go with Emeev here as well. I think he's the rightful favorite. You know, the line is right, if not should be wider. Like Kelton said, you know, I really think he has him beat everywhere. The other guy is losing decisions to guys that are like 11 and with losing records, right? So that's not a good look. And whatever Emeev wants to do, I think he can do it. If he wants to keep it standing and outstrike him, he can do that. And if he wants to clinch up and beat him up and take him down, he can do that as well. So I'm going to go with Emeev with however he wants to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to complete the trifecta. I don't think this kid's that good. I mean, he trains at SPG Ireland, I think, too.
That too.
Not a lot of good fighters are training there these days. I think Mr. Finland left, too, by the way. But yeah, Ameev's pretty much better everywhere. I think he's going to take him down. Even though Ameev didn't really look that good last fight, but I mean, we were just so hyped on Rocco Martin. I mean, let's not talk about Rocco Martin. I'm not done with him, but I don't want to talk about that anymore because Magny went out there and fucking. Well, I still scored it for fucking Martin, but whatever. It's in the past.
What?
But yeah, a lot of people scored it for Rocco Martin, including me. I did. Yeah, I thought he won the first 2 rounds. Yeah, bro, dude, Google the fight. Like most of the judges scored it for Rocco.
I had a bet for Rocco, and I was like, all right, I didn't get this. Like, good job, Magny. Better as you guys cashed here. But
it was close.
I'd have to rewatch.
Yeah, but I mean, he looked good against Ameev, but I mean, Ameev's just pretty much better everywhere in this fight. So I'll go with Ameev. Domination. Next fight, we got this is an interesting fight. We got Correia versus Pani Kianzad. Ricky, who you got in this fight?
All right, so finally, I think I'm gonna go pick an underdog here, and I'm gonna be picking Correia here.
She's so
I really think she should be a slight favorite. Here in this fight. Even considering a bet, I don't know why people are betting or keep betting Pani. I don't know what the line is now, but it's getting pretty bad. Like who's going to be betting Pani at minus 150 or worse? It's minus 160 now in 5 times, and you're really going to bet her at minus 150. I really see all the value here on Beth. I think maybe if you got Pani back when she was a pick'em or whatever, like okay, I can see it there. Maybe she might be the more technical striker here, but you know what? This is a women's fight, and I really think Beth's power and aggressiveness is gonna be too much for her, technique or whatever. I think she's just gonna eat her shots, go forward, pressure her, and outbox her, outstrike her, land the more, the harder shots, basically. And I got, maybe Pani might be doing well in the first round, but I got Beth in the second and third. She even showed her moments against Irene Aldana, and to me, that's pretty impressive. It kind of made it a brawl sometimes, and I think that's what she's going to have to do here, and I think she will. So I'm going to have to go with, the underdog here in Beth.
I mean, low key, I don't think a lot of people might agree with me on this, but I think Beth Correia was beating Holly Holm, until Holly Holm knocked her out, dude. Beth Correia, Beth Correia gets a lot of shit and all this stuff, but I mean, let's be honest, she is washed up. She's 2-4-1 in her last 7 fights. She's slow, but she's tough, dude, and she has a grappling advantage. And let's be honest, dude, Panny's just not that good. Panny's a fighter that I would not trust with juice. I wouldn't do it. And everyone's out here. I see a lot of people I respect acting like this is a mismatch. On the feet, I do think Panny's more technical. She's the better striker. But Betch can crack too, and like Ricky said, Betch is tough, dude. And Betch can 100% get her down the mat. So it's a dog fight. I think it's dog or pass from a betting perspective. From pick, I'm gonna pick Panny. I just think she can win maybe 2 rounds. But Betch, Betch beat fucking Sarge Eubanks too, dude. So I mean, I feel like a lot of people are counting out Betch, man. So, and after rewatching the fight with Marion Renault, I actually thought that was super close too. I think that could have gone either way as well. So Betch is in a lot of close fights, man. So I'll go with Panny, but I would not bet her at juice at all. Kelvin, who do you got?
Yeah, man, I'm kind of surprised we're all agreeing with each other on this one based on the amount of people I've seen betting Panny Kianzad. And like Ricky said, if you got minus 110, I guess I don't hate it just because Panny, she is more technical. I mean, she hasn't quite taken the amount of damage Betch Correia has taken. Betch Correia has definitely taken some beatings. She's bigger than Betch Correia too. She's got a reach advantage. I mean, I think early she's going to be able to, just look like the more technical striker out there, probably land the better looking strikes. But as the fight goes on, Betch Correia gets stronger as the fight goes on. And like Justin mentioned it, she's in a lot of close fights. And really the only time Betch Correia has ever gone out and got completely blown out of the water was Ronda Rousey. But that was a million years ago, and Betch Correia just ran face first into Rousey's ugly ass boxing. And like Justin said, even the Holly Holm fight, she got knocked out there, but she was winning rounds. If that was she got knocked out in the 3rd round. Yeah, I mean, still, man, I mean, she arguably won that 2nd round against Holly Holm. And then Irene Aldana, I mean, dude, I bet Irene Aldana there, and I was sweating before she got that armbar. And then most recent fight against Sarge Eubanks, again, she showed toughness, man. She lost that 1st round, but then she came on stronger, pressured her opponent. Her opponent didn't quite like it, and she was able to win a decision. And that's kind of what I feel like she needs to do here against Panny is she's going to take some lumps in that 1st round, but in that 2nd round, I think she's got way more UFC experience. I think that's going to play a role. She's going to start walking Panny down. I think she's going to land the harder and more volume in that 2nd and 3rd round. I won't say she breaks her, but I think she'll just do more than Panny in those 2nd and 3rd round. So I'm going to go with Betch Correia. I'll say a 29-28 split decision, and we'll see her shake her ass in the octagon one more time.
Yeah, man. So next fight, we got Tanner Boser versus Rafael Pessoa. Calvin, who you got in this fight?
Man, so Tanner Boser burned me last fight. Big, man. I had Felipe Lins, and Tanner Boser came in, and not only did he fucking just destroy my bet there, I had no Tanner Boser in DraftKings at all that night just because I figured if he won, it'd probably be a volume-based decision, but he knocked him out, something I never saw coming, which I probably should have seen coming because if you go back and watch Felipe Lins fights, he's a little fucking shitty, man. I just didn't think Boser had the power to do it. He sure did. Looked very impressive, but looking at this fight, man, I think he does deserve that big tag, but I don't think he's gonna come out and smoke this guy early. Like, Pessoa is a real big boy. He's a 265-pound heavyweight. He hits harder than Bozer. He's bigger than Bozer. It's just Bozer has way more volume. He's faster. I just feel like if he avoids like a big power punch, like barring he gets knocked the fuck out randomly, because we are talking about heavyweight, he should absolutely like show much superior footwork here. Just be the faster, more technical guy. So I think Bozer just picks apart. I mean, I think it's going to probably be pretty similar to the Daniel Spitz fight, where, I mean, he just works the guy in the feet. Doesn't necessarily knock him out, though, because, I mean, we are talking about a Tanner Bozer. He's one of the smaller heavyweights, 230 pounds. It's going to be pretty hard for him to knock out a 265-pound guy. So I'll say Pessoa survives and Tanner Bozer gets a decision this time.
What do you got, Ricky?
I'm going to have to go with Tanner Bozer as well. However, I do think the line's a bit wide for a heavyweight fight. I wouldn't bet it myself. I was going to pass from a betting perspective, but Tanner Bozer really impressed me against Felipe Lins. I had a feeling he was going to win that fight, but I didn't think he was going to win in that way. Went in there, really impressed me, knocked him out, and he also has good volume for a heavyweight. So, in my opinion, that's a good thing. And Pessoa, I don't really know much about him to be honest, but just kind of staying away. And but I'm going with Bozer for the pick.
Next fight, we're going to have a really good debate in this one. We got Mike Grundy versus Movsar Evloev. And I want Kelvin to go first with this one.
All right, man. So, yeah, what's this? My first play of the night, right? So, yeah, we got Movsar Evloev, Mike Grundy. Really interesting stylistic matchup, man. I did take Movsar Evloev. I do have him in a parlay. I just feel like this is a very tough matchup stylistically for Mike Grundy. He does have some advantages here, though. He is the bigger guy. He does hit harder. I just don't think it's going to matter in the sense that I think the wrestling here is really evenly matched. If you guys try to come on here and say Mike Grundy's an Olympian and he's going to wrestle this dude's face off, that's just not true at all. The whole Olympian thing is, guys, he tried out for the Olympics. He did not make it. That doesn't make him an Olympian. If Ricky interviews to go be a CEO and he doesn't get the job, he can't go around telling people he's a CEO. So, like, I'd cool it with that talk. I actually think the wrestling's like an even matchup here. I think these guys are going to be striking. I don't think Movsar is going to be able to just ragdoll Grundy. I don't think Grundy's going to be able to ragdoll Movsar. So it's going to come down to the striking, and that's how it happens a lot of the times in these wrestler versus wrestler matchups. And on the feet, dude, Movsar absolutely has the technique advantage, the volume advantage. He's faster. I see him picking apart Mike Grundy all night long in the fight. Grundy's just got to – he's got to knock him out. I just don't see him how he's going to win a volume-based decision. And then speaking on the level of competition too, like Mike Grundy beat Nad Narimani in his last fight. So he takes down Narimani, and then Narimani pretty much gets right back up, and he's not able to take Narimani down after that. And, if you just saw Narimani's last fight against Grant Dawson, who, has half the combat experience as Mike Grundy. Dawson had way more success with the wrestling than Mike Grundy did. And then Movsar last fight, he beats Enrique Barzola, who, you can say what you want about Enrique Barzola, but he's actually a really good fighter, man. He's beaten guys like Mowgli Benitez, and I was impressed with Movsar in that fight. I thought he won all 3 rounds. The third round, it was close. I guess you could have gave it to Enrique Barzola. Either way, clear win for Movsar. Just showed that he had the way more superior striking and in the volume too. So, yeah, it's going to be hard for Grundy to win this fight, man. He's not going to out-wrestle Movsar for 2 out of the 3 rounds. He's not going to out-volume him. He's got to knock him out. And speaking of the knockout against Narimani, that was like his first knockout in a while. He doesn't really knock guys out. Nobody expected that outcome, but guys, Nad Narimani made his striking look way better than it actually is. If you look at the shots that Mike Grundy is throwing, it's basic. It is nowhere near the technique as Movsar Evloev. And not only that, if you go back and watch Nad Narimani's career, that guy is chinny. So that doesn't surprise me at all. And he didn't even put him out. That was a standing TKO. So man, it's hard to think that he's going to come out here and knock out Movsar Evloev. I think Evloev is absolutely deserving of that high price tag. And I know you guys are going to disagree with me, so go ahead.
Yeah, I have my first play of the night. I have 2 units on Mike Grundy at what is it, plus 170? Let me just double check real quick.
I think you got 180.
No, plus 180. I like how you knew it before me, so plus 180. Yeah, I gotta disagree with a lot of stuff you said. One, I do think that Movsar is more technical on the feet, but I actually think Grundy hits harder. I think Grundy has more power. He's a really good right hand. Grundy has really good cardio too. They both do. Like Ricky was saying before we got in here, Grundy's the bigger dude. And if anyone takes the other person down, I actually think Grundy has the better wrestling. I mean, he has a good wrestling background. Movsar obviously has good wrestling too, but let's be honest, he's been doing it at 135. I mean, he hasn't really fought at 145 that much, and Grundy's a lot bigger than him, man. And like what me and Kelton and Ricky were talking about a lot, I'm sure Ricky will say the same thing. If a guy like Barzola can go out there and take you down, like I don't even care he took him down once. Imagine what Grundy's gonna do, dude. I mean, Grundy's a legit grappler, dude. So I 100% think he can go out there and take him down. But I definitely think this line's off. I think it should be a pick 'em in my opinion. And a lot of people are sleeping on Grundy, dude. He's a good fighter, man. He's relentless. He has good pressure. He trains with Darren Till. He's training with big dudes. And I know Movsar's, training with Peter Yan and all that stuff. But I mean, I like Movsar, man. He's a good fighter. But if you watch the fight with Barzola, I mean, that was a close ass fight, dude. And Barzola's, I mean, to be honest, dude, he's decent, but I mean, the guy lost to Kyle Boschinack. The guy fucking went out there and fucking lost to Bobby Moffett, in my opinion. I mean, and he was piecing him up on the feet. I mean, Grundy is like a truck, dude, and he has a really good right hand. So I think Grundy's gonna go out there and win a decision here, man, or possibly even get in the finish. So I got Mike Grundy. Ricky, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to lean right now with Mike Grundy as well. He does. Evloev does have to have more volume, like Kelton was saying, but I do think the volume is going to slow down once Grundy lands some powerful shots. It's definitely going to reduce that volume, and I do think that the wrestling might cancel out, but if anyone's going to take anyone down, I think it's going to be Grundy. Grundy is an actual 45er. I think Evloev fought at like 135 most of his career, goes to the UFC, goes up to 145. He's doing well, but now he's fighting like a legit 45er. Barzola was a 135er as well. And he, he took a round off of him. And I definitely think if Barzola can take a round off of you, Grundy can take 2. He can. I think he can land the more devastating shots to win rounds that way. Evloev might have more damage, but damage does matter. So if Grundy goes out there and lands the harder shots, he can win rounds that way. So I do think the fight is more of a 50-50 fight than what you think. So I'm gonna have to go with the underdog. Value's definitely on Grundy. I mean, size does matter,
Does. I mean, Kelton is disrespecting the guy's wrestling credentials. I mean, the guy has a legit wrestling background, man. I mean, you act like everyone's gonna go out there and take this guy down, hold him down. The guy got taken down by Barzola, bro. The guy got taken down by Barzola, dude. If Barzola can go out there,
he didn't say that.
Barzola's a bantamweight. Barzola's a bantamweight. If a bantamweight can go out there and take him down.
Okay, that's taking away from Movsar Evloev to call Barzola a bantamweight. Barzola fought most of his career at 145, has good wins at 145, won tough at 145. That's just completely disrespecting Movsar just to write off that win to say.
Barzola's washed, dude. If you watch his last 3 fights, I mean, even the Boschinack fight, like, he's not a jobber, but he went out there and slammed Movsar. What the fuck you think Grundy's gonna do, bro? Legit fucking wrestler. Just because he's from England doesn't mean he's not a good wrestler. The guy is a legit fucking wrestler.
Yeah, and he was able to take down Nadin Armani one time and couldn't get another one after that.
Bro, everyone that Movsar beat, fucking Grundy would do the same thing. Everybody.
And everyone that Grundy beat, Movsar will beat as well.
There you go. It's a close fight, bro.
It's a close fight. Exactly.
It's a pick 'em fight. Like, this is not. You act like it should be.
No. I explained exactly. It's not a pick 'em fight. It's going to be extremely hard for Grundy to win this fight when he's being out volumed and out techniqued. Like, you just gotta pray that he lands a big shot.
It's not that.
And
Grundy
it's
can
not
take
like
this guy
Evloev has
down.
cardio.
You act like
Bro.
Grundy's not going to hit him.
Grundy can take him down. He doesn't have to go out there and just knock him out. He can take him
Do
down.
you have any proof that Mavzar is chinny of some sort, or that he breaks, or that he slows down? Because he definitely doesn't
I have
slow
proof
down.
that he can get taken down by a fucking bantamweight. That's not even a wrestler.
And that he could still win that fight that he got taken down.
Yes, Grundy can 100% take this guy down and hold him down. I'm telling you right now.
I can't wait to find out.
Grundy's a beast. You're disrespecting him, man. I mean, Mavzar's a good fighter, but just like Ricky said, there's weight classes for a reason. This guy's not a fucking 45er. He's not. And Grundy's a big-ass fucking 45er, man. He's huge. Grundy trains, dude. Grundy's main training partner is fucking a middleweight, bro. Come on, dude. So
I think the size is going to be a factor in this fight, and the power.
It is.
You know, he's going to land the harder shots. He's going to slow him down, and he might even be able to big brother him. You know, if he's got so much size on him, and take him down and slam him too, just the way Barzola did. But I think Grundy's wrestling is better than Barzola's. I'm sure we can all agree on that.
Yeah, I mean, a judge went out there and scored the fight for Barzola. I know Kelton disagrees, but I actually thought that was a really close fight. That was a close fucking fight, bro.
A judge scored that for Barzola?
I'm pretty sure, bro.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you're wrong.
If you Google the fucking scorecards, there's like a lot of people in the media that scored that fight for Barzola. That was a legit
you're
close
talking about
fight.
the media that doesn't know shit?
That was a legit close fight, bro.
You know one judge scored
fight.
that fight 30-27 Mavzar?
Well, that judge is an idiot because, dude, 100%. Barzola won one round in that fight for sure, bro. That was a close fight. You know Barzola made that fight close.
I had it
that
30-27 Mavzar, but the round 3 was close.
Oh, you had fucking Volkan beating Jiri 10-8 the first round. Come on, bro.
What?
You're fucking biased.
10-8?
I'm just talking shit, but you did say Volkan won that first round.
Oh my god. Okay, Dustin's making shit up now. Let's move on.
You said that Volkan won that first round. He did not win that first round.
All right, let's move on.
So, bro,
yeah, he did win that first round.
I'm telling you,
he did.
Strikes.
I'm telling you right now that you're disrespecting Grundy, man. Grundy can go out there and take this guy down. He doesn't have to just get a knockout. Grundy's so fast too, man. I mean, Grundy's pretty fast.
Mavzar is faster, bro.
They both are. He's more technical, but dude, these are two good fighters.
Mavzar has faster hands too, way faster hands.
I wouldn't say way faster hands. I'd say he's the faster guy, but I think you're disrespecting Grundy here. Grundy's a legit fucking good prospect. So, battle of the prospects. So, next fight, we have, speaking of prospects, I don't think this guy's a prospect at all, but we'll hear Kelton say that. We got Tom Aspoinall, the jobber, versus Jake Collier. And I'm going to let Ricky go first since Kelton just went first. Ricky, who do you got?
To be honest, I didn't really look into this fight that much. Past fight for me, but probably have to go with the favorite, Tom Aspoinall.
I'll keep it short and sweet. I'm picking Tom to get the win, but I think this is a really close fight. I think Jake is live here. It's hard to trust Jake because the guy has not fought in a long time, and he's definitely going to be the smaller guy. But a lot of people, including Kelton, are acting like Tom should be a -1,000 in this spot. I mean, the guy's not that good, bro, at all. I mean, he has no ground game. He's chinny. He has power, but, I mean, I would not be surprised at all if Collier went out there and fucking got him out of there. I don't think Collier's – I mean, yeah, he is a jobber, but the thing is Collier's tough, dude. He's like one of those tough-ass fucking jobbers that's always going to be in the fight. So, I mean, I'm going to go with Tom, but I would not bet Tom like a lot of jobbers out there, including my boy Kelton. So, Kelton, yeah.
Firstly, I just want to say I kind of disagree with Jake Collier being tough since I watched him completely quit in the octagon against a jobber middleweight in Dongy Yang. Jake Collier was going for a heel hook. As soon as Dongy Yang escaped from the heel hook, he got on top, rained down ground and pound, and Jake Collier literally turtled up and completely quit in there. So I wouldn't go that far to say he's a super tough guy. And I have seen pretty much every podcast I've listened to. They say they watch the tape on Tom Aspoinall, and they don't see anything special from this guy. He's low level. He's this, he's that, hasn't fought anybody. And yeah, I mean, I watched tape on him too, man. I didn't see anything special either. But the thing is, since when do you have to be special to beat Jake Collier? I mean, this guy is a 500 fighter in the UFC. He's been finished multiple times. He's quit in the octagon. So many red flags on this guy. I can go on and on. I mean, three-year layoff, moving up a weight class when he used to originally fight a middleweight. I mean, he's been knocked out by the power of middleweights. What do you think the power of a 6'5", 255-pound guy is going to do? I believe Tom Aspoinall, yeah, he's not going to be a top 15 guy in my opinion, but he absolutely has what it takes to just smoke this guy. And what I consider, this is probably a setup match. I mean, Darren Till told the boys over at the UFC, yeah, I'll take the main event against Robert Whittaker. You just got to hook up my boy Tom Aspinall, get him in the UFC, get him a favorable matchup. I'm sure that was the case here, man. Jake Collier is fucking washed, guys. And there's nothing you can really find on this guy either. Like, he disappeared off social media. He doesn't want to do interviews. It's not a good look, man. On the feet, the power of Tom Aspinall will probably be too much. He could stop Jake there, and in my opinion, Jake Collier's best path to victory here is to expose the takedown defense of Tom Aspinall, because that's definitely the biggest weakness in Aspinall's game. But the thing is, Aspinall is a BJJ black belt. I have seen him reverse position on the mat before, and I think if he gets on top of Jake Collier, he will bash this guy in, and I will not be surprised to see Jake Collier quit once again via ground and pound, man. So, I don't know what Jake Collier is going to come in here and weigh in at, but I'll tell you right now, he's not going to be anywhere near as heavy, strong, and powerful as Tom Aspinall. I mean, I won't call Jake Collier a middleweight. He was actually like one of the biggest middleweights on the roster when he fought there, but he's a 205er. So, you got a heavyweight versus a 205er here. Power, strength, it's going to be too much. Aspinall's he's going to finish this guy.
Yeah,
I got him in a parlay with Mom.
He hasn't fought anybody. That's the only thing with Aspinall. But yeah, I'll go with like I already mentioned, Aspinall, but I'm not confident. Next fight, we got Nicholas Dalby versus Jesse Ronson. Let's go, baby! Giants are about to be on the board. Dodgers are good show cards in the world. Anyway, so on this fight, you know what, man? Honestly, pre-tape, I thought Ronson actually might be live, and then when you actually watch the tape, the guy has good striking, dude. He's won one out of his last two fights, and he had two. He got finished, and then he lost a decision. And then his last fight, he went out there and beat that pretty good prospect. Forget what his name. Troy Lamson. The thing is, I feel like Dalby's so much bigger than him. But Dalby, I like Dalby, but I feel like the line is a little off here. Ronson can crack, dude. And Dalby's a good fighter, but the fight with Howboy was really close. I feel like we got gifted that decision because, Howboy was winning that third round until the ref fucking, literally gifted that W. And it's hard to trust Dalby, man. It really is. The guy lost to fucking Pessoa a couple years ago, but since that fight, he's improved a lot. He's so much bigger, too, now, and, his physique. He has the grappling advantage, I feel like, here. He can take Ronson down, even though Ronson's pretty tough to take down. But, on the feet, I think Ronson is probably a little more technical, but I think Dalby hits harder, and Dalby has – a really good jab. He has good pressure. He has good cardio. He has a good chin. I'm going to go with Dalby with the win, but I would not be surprised at all if Ronson made this close because, let's be honest, Ronson, he lost a split to Kevin Lee, Michelle Praceres, another good fighter too, I think. Trinaldo, the guy's not bad. This guy's not a jobber, straight up. He isn't. So I'll go with Ronson. I'll go with Nicholas Dalby by decision. What about you, Calvin?
Yeah, man, it's interesting because you mentioned that stint he had where he had 3 split decision losses to Praceres, Trinaldo, and Kevin Lee. I actually watched all 3 of those fights. I thought Praceres clearly beat him, and I thought Kevin Lee clearly beat him. The only fight that I thought was rightfully a split because it was so close was the Trinaldo fight, but yeah, he's come a long way since then, man. He's doing pretty well in the regionals. Another guy that had lost, 2 out of his last 3, but is coming off a win against Troy Lamson, who is a good prospect out of the Michigan scene. It's just, he's coming up from 155 pounds here against a full-bodied welterweight in Nicholas Dalby. I feel like that size is I feel like skill-wise, these guys are actually pretty even. It's just Nicholas Dalby does have a size advantage. It is Jesse Ronson taking this fight on short notice, I believe. Maybe they got this fight at the same time, but I kind of feel like this might be a shorter notice for Ronson. I thought Dalby had a different opponent, but I could be wrong. I just feel like there's more factors going in for Nicholas Dalby. I don't know if I agree with him being like a minus 260 or whatever the fuck he is. Like, don't play Dalby at that line. If anything, play Ronson. But I'm good, man. I'm going to come out here and say that Jesse Ronson loses another split decision in the UFC. He's going to keep that streak going.
Ricky, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Dalby here. He's got wins over Alex Cowboy. Went to draw with Till. I think he's gonna just be able to grind out a decision here. Seal the rounds with takedowns, and I get a unanimous decision. I don't think it's gonna be close. Actually, I think Dalby's gonna smash him. I only think Jesse Ronson got the call because they need fighters on Saturday. So yeah, I'll make my decision quick. It's gonna go with the Dalby for a decisive unanimous decision.
So next fight we have Jai Herbert versus Francisco Trinaldo. This is my last play of the night. I have 2 units on Jai Herbert at I don't have it memorized at plus 150. I think he's plus 115 now. I think Trinaldo's washed that, man. I think he's at the end of his career. He's on the decline. He's still, a good fighter. He's not a jobber by any means, but I think this Herbert kid is a legit striker. I mean, the guy has a great right hand, a good straight left. He has a good pressure. He's a KO artist for a reason. I like his movement. I feel like everything about him, man, is really impressive. I know he lost to Mckee, who we'll be talking about later, but that was 4 years ago. He got caught. I don't think he's chinny at all, like a lot of people are saying. And Trinaldo can still crack, but if you watch Trinaldo's last few fights, the guy has low output. And a guy like Herbert is going to go out there and land way much more. I think he can 100% outstrike Trinaldo win decision. I wouldn't be surprised if he finished Trinaldo, even though it's really tough. But Trinaldo's taken a lot of damage, and ever since that Yancy Medeiros fight, I feel like one of these days he's going to get knocked out here, man. I do think that Trinaldo has a wrestling advantage, but I think a guy like Herbert improving every day. Tom Breeze is head coach. Even though I like to make fun of Tom Breeze because my boy went out there and fucking smoked him last fight. Shout out to Brendan Allen. Tom Breeze is still no slouch. So I got to go with Herbert, and I think Herbert's going to go out there and make a statement, dude. I think he's a lot faster. I think he's a lot better on the feet, too. Really good jab. But Trinaldo can crack, so we gotta watch out for that. But Trinaldo's slow. He's washed, man. I see Herbert picking him apart, man. And that range, man. I mean, everything about Herbert's game is really impressive, dude. So I got Jai Herbert. I'm going to go with the first round KO. I think he's going to go out there and put a huge statement here, man. Kelvin, who do you got?
Well, we are on the same page, Justin. I'm with you. I got plus 150 on Jai Herbert for 3 units. And we killed it, bro. It's plus 110 now, actually. So, 40-cent beat there. I wouldn't be surprised to see this line close pick 'em, man. Jai Herbert just has so many advantages here, man. Of course, he's making his UFC debut against a very, experienced guy in Trinaldo. But Jai Herbert, he's the younger guy. He's the faster guy, more athletic. You can argue this guy even hits harder. Just really the better athlete here, man. Just so much more left to give. Trinaldo's 41 years old now, and he's out here winning fights. Granted, he's 2-1 in his last 3, 3-1 in his last 4. But all these guys he's been beating. So here's all Trinaldo's most recent wins: John McDessie, another older fighter; Bobby Green, another older fighter; Evan Dunham, another older fighter; Jim Miller, another older fighter. And his last great win before that was Paul Felder all the way back in 2016 due to a cut, man. And basically just the way I see them matching up, man. Justin mentioned it. Trinaldo has been a little low output these days. Now, granted, he is winning these fights. He clearly beat McDessie, in my opinion. The Bobby Green fight was a little shaky. He started off strong in that first round, but things got real sloppy in that second and third. I think we truly are starting to witness the decline of Trinaldo, and that's just how I truly feel, man. He is 41 years old. Statistically, nobody has ever beaten Father Time. And, this is the first real young guy who's actually going to throw that he's fought in a while. I know he fought Alexander Hernandez, and I thought Trinaldo won that fight. Props to him, but, I actually think this kid, Jai Herbert, is the way better striker than, an Alex Hernandez. Alex Hernandez has that power factor, but Jai Herbert, dude, his jab, Oh my goodness, this guy has a lightning. He's so fast, man. He's going to be so much faster than Trinaldo. He's going to be throwing out way more volume than Trinaldo. I actually think he's live. I agree with Justin. I think he's live for a knockout here, man. I mean, when he gets guys backed up against the cage too, that's where his finest work is. I mean, he can just tee off on guys. In my opinion, his takedown defense is getting better. I've seen him sprawl multiple takedowns, especially lately. And in my opinion, Trinaldo kind of needs to get some takedowns here, man, because it's not going to be good on the feet. Like, unless Trinaldo gets a knockout, he's going to get picked apart, in my opinion, kind of badly. So I agree with the money coming in. I think it's smart. Hopefully we cash. I think Jay Herbert knocks him out in the second round.
What do you got, Rick?
I'm going to have to go the other way this time. I'm going to go with Francisco Trinaldo. I did watch some tape on this guy, Herbert, and he looked good in Cage Warriors. He really did. He does have good volume, like you guys said. He's got knocked out, though, in the past. I do see some openings that, he does have more volume, probably faster, but I do think Trinaldo can counter him coming in and land the more powerful shots. But or time him right and just do a little bit more damage that way. He's got the grappling advantage. I thought he did well. He has one older fighter, but he has done well against Alexander Hernandez. So I think he can still hang with the younger guys. But I mean, he is getting old, so I it is hard to put my money on him. But I'm gonna have to go with Trinaldo. I just do think that the UFC lightweight division is a lot, just higher competition. I think it's a big step up for this guy Herbert, and I don't know if he's ready for it, especially against someone like Francisco Trinaldo. I would have thought they should have done someone against more lower level, but I do still think Trinaldo can hang with the younger guys that are not as elite. He's coming off of Cage Warriors, so competition there is a little bit questionable sometimes. But yeah, we'll see how he does against the big step up, but I'm going to have to go with the UFC vet, give him a vet lesson. So I'm going to go with Trinaldo.
Let's be honest, though. I mean, okay, the John Modesti fight, I do think he won that fight, but I still think John won that fight. Or, I'm sorry, John won around that fight. But John Modesti's trash. I mean, let's be honest, dude. The guy's not a good fighter. He gets smoked if you fought Herbert. And the Bobby Green and Jakar Close, or not Close, the Bobby Green and what was the other fight that was really close?
Alexander Hernandez.
Yeah, both those fights. I mean, I thought for sure Bobby Green won that fight, and then the other fight, that could have gone either way too. But I'm telling you, man, Herbert is making his debut, but the speed advantage he has in this fight is so much, dude. Like, he's a lot faster than Trinaldo, and I think it's going to pay dividend here, man. So, just like what Kelvin said, when he backs guys against the fence, if Trinaldo backs up, dude, he's going to get knocked out here, man. So, next fight, I'm going to have a really short breakdown of this fight. We got Kazmat Chimaev versus Rise Mckee. I got Chimaev by first round submission. I mean, this guy is legit, dude. I mean, the guy went out there and had a dominant win against a jobber. So obviously, this is a step up. I think Mckee's probably a better fighter than I mean, it's different weight classes though. But I mean, Mckee's no slouch, and Mckee went out there and beat fucking our boy Jai Herbert, man, a long time ago. But if the rematch, we would know what would happen. Mckee has potential. I mean, the guy has good striking. So, it would surprise me if he made this fight a little bit competitive. Yeah, but I just think that Chimaev is going to go out there and do what he does, take him down and get him out of there. So I got Chimaev by submission. Ricky, what do you got?
Yeah, I got Chimaev by smash. I really like this guy's mindset. He's good at grappling. He doesn't mess around. He goes in, goes to his bread and butter, takes him down, and smashes him. Like he says in an interview, he's like, "Yeah, I smash people and I get paid." I gotta love that mindset from him. He's taking on another fight at short notice. That's what you got to do. Build some hype. This guy, Rise Mckee, I think got like a 6-day notice fight too. I don't think he's going to be ready for him. His grappling is just next level. When I saw that, I was really impressed. So can't wait to see him on Saturday. Actually have him parlayed up with someone else. I normally don't parlay. I got him at 700. It's kind of embarrassing to tell you the truth, but I don't care, man. I parlayed him with someone later on in the card, 700. I was like, oh, this guy's going to close out at like minus 1,000 for sure. So I decided to do a parlay with someone later in the card, and I'll let you guys know. But I definitely got him by smash. He's either going to TKO him or get a submission, whatever he wants. So yeah, I got Chimaev by smash. What about you, Kellen?
Yeah, man, it's actually minus 1250 now. So I mean, you could say what you want about minus 700, but you beat the line by 550 cents. So yeah, I parlayed Chimaev too, man. I got him with somebody later in the card. Me and Ricky actually got the same parlay. But yeah, dude, I mean, Mckee. Justin said it. He's not bad. Like skill for skill, like he's a better fighter than John Phillips. But yeah, I mean, John Phillips is a middleweight, and Mckee is I mean, he fought at lightweight. He's pretty much a lightweight, man. I mean, I get he fought at lightweight when he was younger, and now he's kind of growing a little more. But I still think he's pretty small for welterweight. Like he's tall, but he's skinny, dude. And dude, like if you go back and watch his career, like yeah, he knocked out Jay Herbert. That's like easily his best win of his career. But yeah, that was what 5 years ago. Jay Herbert was actually like winning that fight too, but he got a little cocky and caught, and we haven't seen Jay Herbert get knocked out since then. So I mean, yeah, that's definitely McKee's best win. But dude, you go and watch the draw against Richie Smolin. I mean, a huge joke. You watch him lose a dominant decision against Terry Brazier, where I mean, he got taken down. What? I mean, I don't know if you guys watched that fight, but he got taken down like 100 fucking times in that fight. Like, that's not a look you want to have when you're fighting this guy, Kianzad Chimaev, who, I mean, yeah, Ricky said it. Take him down, smash him, make some money. And that's probably what he's going to do here, man. I mean, hopefully he's smart and doesn't mess around on the feet because, I mean, Mckee can crack. It's just, it's probably not going to happen, man. Chimaev, he seems like a smart guy. He's going to take this guy down, smash him, maybe sub him. So easy money.
This next fight is really interesting, man, because at first I had a pretty strong read, but then after I taped it, like I'm confident in the other play. I'm not going to bet it though, but it's a good fight. We got Alex Howboy Oliveira versus Peter Sobotta, and I'm sure you guys will be surprised who I have in this fight because I've shit on this guy. On this guy in the past. I'm gonna let Kelvin go first, but you'll see who I got after Kelvin goes.
The Sobotta fight? That's what we're doing? Yeah, man. So it's a pretty good fight. It's really interesting because you got Howboy on one hand, who, I mean, we're obviously witnessing this guy's decline. I mean, he is not the guy he once was without a doubt. I mean, you think he would have gone to split with Max Griffin back in the day? You think he would have lost a decision to Nicholas Dalby back in the day? You think he would have lost a decision to Mike Perry back in the day? I mean, sometimes we can come out here and like debate whether or not a guy is on the decline. I think with Alex Oliveira, the proof is in the pudding that this guy is on the decline, man. I mean, he has taken a lot of damage. He has a lot of stuff going outside of the cage. And man, it's just not a good look. And then you got Peter Sobotta on the other side who hasn't fought in how long? He hasn't fought since 2018 against Leon Edwards. Granted, he was in there against a guy as high caliber as Leon Edwards. He did get finished by him. He's been finished by Kyle Noke before. If y'all have never seen that Kyle Noke versus Peter Sobotta fight, go watch that because that's one of the most perfectly placed and hard, sharp kicks I've ever seen. Like, a lot of people were kind of ragging on Peter Sobotta for that finish, but like, I just think that was like a perfect kick from Kyle Noke there. And Kyle Noke's a big fucker, man. So, I mean, that was a hard kick. I don't take away too much. I mean, he bounced back, beat Nicholas Dalby, and beat Ben Saunders since then. So it's just a matter of like, where is Peter Sobotta's head? Like, if he's motivated and actually wants to go back and make a run at the title, get a rematch against Leon Edwards, it's like, yeah, if he's motivated, he's going to come in here and out grapple and possibly submit Alex Oliveira. And he does look in pretty good shape, man. So I'm actually going to come out here and pick the underdog. I'm going to go with Peter Sobotta. It's just hard for me to pick a fighter who's declining at juice in a fight that one guy clearly has the underdog clearly has a path to victory here. So I'm going to go with him all day. I can't bet it though, just because I'm not going to be surprised if Peter Sobotta gets smoked here. I mean, there is a question on his durability, and Alex Oliveira could still hit like a truck. So if Sobotta comes out here and gets smoked, like, I won't be surprised. So I'm not going to bet him, but like $7,500 in DraftKings for a guy that could win this fight. And if he does win this fight, it's via grappling, could get a sub with takedowns and advances. yeah, I'll take Peter Sobotta on DraftKings and I'll pick him, but it's a pass from a betting perspective.
Yeah, let's be honest, man. Both these guys are washed up and declining, but I got to go with my boy Howboy here, man. He's 1-3 in his last 4 fights, and yes, he's declining. But Sobotta hasn't fought in like 29 months. Sobotta's chinny as fuck on the feet. Sobotta's slow on the feet. He has to go out there and get this guy down. I mean, Howboy has a good ground game as well, but I feel like on the feet, Howboy hits so much harder, dude. If a guy like Kyle No can go out there and KO this guy with a fucking body kick, Howboy has some nasty fucking body kicks, dude. And he's so nasty in the clinch. His jab is fucking good. His straight right is so fucking long. I think it's a mismatch in the feet. I think Howboy's gonna go out there and fucking hurt this guy bad. Fucking shout outs to fucking MMA prediction guru. This guy's fucking saying that Sobotta won the second round versus Leon Edwards. I don't know what the fuck you were watching, bro. Sobotta fucking got dominated that whole fight. Yeah, he took him down. He took him down one time, but I mean, he got fucking massacred in that fight, and he quit too with like what 1 second left. Sobotta's like what 33 years old, but like in fight years, like the guy looks like he's like 60, bro. Like straight up, dude. I don't think the guy's that good. Like, I mean, maybe he's live here just because Howboy's a fucking fade and a half. But if you think about the matchup, bro, like Howboy's a lot better, man, on the feet, dude. So I'm gonna go with Howboy. And one more thing too, gotta watch out about that uppercut, bro, because that uppercut he has is fucking nasty. I got Howboy by KO. Ricky, who do you got?
You know, I'm right there with you, Justin. And I think we were thinking the same thing when we were coming into taping this fight, because I was thinking maybe Sobotta might be live, you know, with the takedowns and this and that. And, you know, Cowboy is known to pull stunts here and there, you know, like against his fight against the other Cowboy or Yancey. You know, Yancey, he got knocked out in the third round. I think he could easily win that fight. Gunnar, I think he's really tough, though. And, you know, to give him credit, I do think he did not pull a stunt versus Max Griffin. I don't think he pulled I think he actually won that fight. It should have been unanimous, you know. I don't think Griffin did much but just land some takedowns, but Cowboy definitely did more damage in that fight. Nicholas Dalby, I think he actually was on his way to winning that fight until the judge had to stand it up. So, I mean, Cowboy's only 32 years old. He's more, I don't know if he's declining as of just known to pull stunts, you know. I think he just pulls some stunts. That's why Sobotta is live, because there is a chance of Cowboy pulling a stunt. But if Cowboy doesn't pull a stunt, then I think he's gonna smash Sobotta, man. Sobotta, like Justin said, like pretty much got his ass beat against Leon Edwards. He did not lose. He did not win that second round. I think he shot for like maybe 1 or 2 takedowns that fight. Not as much as I thought he was going to. Yeah, and then he pretty much shelled up in the third round and completely quit, you know, and the ref stopped it. Doesn't matter because he was on his way to losing a decision anyway. But yeah, I mean, Peter Sobotta has a win over Ben Saunders, but I mean, let's be real, Ben Saunders, he's done. You know, he got like Justin said, if Kyle Noak can body kick TKO him, I definitely think Alex Howboy can as well. So yeah, man, I only think the way Peter Sobotta wins is if Howboy pulls a stunt and you know, lets him do what he wants. But I'm gonna have to go with Howboy with the.
I just want to add one thing. Like, I don't think it's just dependent on Howboy pulling a stunt. I honestly think like this is a stylistic bad matchup for him. I mean, he has a 58 takedown defense rate. Peter Sobotta is going to be looking for takedowns, and he has a huge grappling advantage. I mean, he has a Dean Lister black belt. He's got good jiu-jitsu, and Alex Oliveira has been subbed in the past, so like it's not even like it doesn't have to be a stunt. He could just get taken down and subbed here. It's just
but by who? I mean, let's be real. He got subbed by Gunnar Nelson, who I think is a much better grappler. And
way
Cowboy
better grappler,
you know, who's a freak. Cowboy Cerrone, Gilbert Burns. These guys are all like legit American black belt level. I mean, Sobotta probably got his black belt over there, like in Eastern European, where they like barely train.
He's a Dean Lister black belt.
Wow, whatever, man.
Cowboy was dominating Gunnar Nelson too, and I had a bet on Gunnar. I was sweating my ass off.
I don't know. Like that's fine that you guys are picking Oliveira. I'm just glad you're not betting him, because at that price on a declining guy, like, yikes.
If money comes in, and if this line gets to like minus 140, 130, I'm gonna bet on them for sure, 100%.
Wow. You never bet favorites.
I mean, the last time I bet a favorite was Kelvin at minus 105. I mean, I don't know. I've been before that bet Jamal Hill.
I probably wouldn't bet Howboy. To me, this is more of a pass kind of fight, you know. But
Yeah.
They're both washed up.
yeah, I can't really trust either guy.
Next fight. Speaking about a pass fight, but if he gets the plus money, I'm gonna be betting him. We got Paul Craig versus fucking what is it, Antigulov, and I'm gonna let my boy Ricky go first. Ricky, who do you got?
Oh man, this fight is gonna be, I believe, a shit show and a half. You know, I don't really know. This is a fight where I really have no idea what's gonna happen. You know, I came into thinking this fight, you know, maybe Antigulov, you know, can take him down and either choke him out or sub him quick, or maybe even like get a decision. You know, because my thought was like, okay, this fool Paul Craig pulls guard. And you definitely do not want to pull guard in MMA. You know, to me, it's just a bad idea. It's not going to work against the really good guys. You know, they're going to defend your armbar. They're going to defend your triangles. And they're going to, you know, win a decision. And so Paul Craig, you can't really trust the guy either because he will, like, chill in his guard. Like, he had Shogun who was hurt in the first round, arguably a 10-8. And, you know, what does he do in the second round? He goes and pulls guard. So, I don't really know. And then Hua just goes and recovers in his guard and wins the round. So not only is he recovering, but he's winning a round. So that's what I thought Antigulov might be able to do. He might be able to take him down, you know, relax in his guard, kind of shell up and, you know, get his breath back, you know. But I don't think so. You know, I watched this fight that went to decision, and let me tell you, it was a shit show. Both of those guys were gassed out. Like, their cornermen were literally dragging them to their respective corner at the end of the round just because they were so gassed. I don't know. They don't have stools in that organization or what, but they're literally laying down on the mat, like on their back. So I wanted to see how this guy looks in the second and third round, and it does not look good. And I do think Paul Craig is good enough to survive the first round. You know, he's got good jiu-jitsu, so yeah, he might get smashed, but I think he'll be able to defend the subs, survive the storm, and you know, put it on him in the second and third round and maybe get a late finish. So I'm going to go with Bear Jew with the late finish, but it is Paul Craig, so you can never bet him at minus money, so it's a pass fight for me. But I'm going to go with Paul Craig for the win.
Kel, what do you got?
Man, Ricky said it. This is a big-time shit show, man. There's a lot of different ways this fight can go, too, and it's so intriguing stylistically, too. Like, originally, my initial thought was, oh my gosh, a guy that's gassing is going up against a guy known for comebacks. Obviously, this guy is going to gas, and Paul Craig is going to get a comeback submission, but I don't know, man, because, like, when I think of how this fight is going to go, I think it's going to start off. I think Antigulov is going to look for takedowns. I think he's going to get the takedowns. Paul Craig has shitty takedown defense. He's going to get taken down. Gadzhimierz is way stronger, so he's going to take Paul Craig down, and he's going to hunt for that submission. I think there is a chance that he can just take down Paul Craig, mount him and arm triangle right away. Like, Paul Craig's not a good fighter. Like, you're going to tell me you're going to be surprised if that happens? I'm not at all. And not only that, man, like, he can take down Paul Craig. He can kind of conserve his energy, just hold on to top control. Maybe he has enough energy in round 2 this time to do the same thing in round 2. I mean, there's a possibility he could steal the first 2 rounds, and it's like, yeah, he does have a bad gas tank, but if you look at those 2 UFC losses, so Ion Cutelaba, who is an absolute fucking freak, by the way, he took down Cutelaba like 4 times. Tried really hard for him. Cutelaba just kept getting back up, and 4.5 minutes into the fight, he was completely gassed and got knocked out. Okay, and then the next fight against McCall Jacek, who, I mean, McCall's a real good striker, and he will make you, pay for bad defense. And this guy was just running straight into McCall's punches. Who, I mean, just terrible fight IQ. And that's the thing, man. I feel like these last 2 losses are just easily fixable mistakes. Like, don't go so hard for the takedowns if you're not, able to control the guy. And then again, like Ion Cutelaba is way stronger, has way better takedown defense than Paul Craig. So I feel like he won't even need to, go for those 4 takedowns in round 1. And then McCall Oleksiejczuk, like Paul Craig ain't a sharp sniper like striker like McCall. He's not gonna just come out here and smoke Antigulov. So, man, I actually think this is a winnable fight for the underdog, man. It's interesting to see the line flip. I've gone back and forth in this fight. I really don't know who to pick, but I'm gonna go with Antigulov now, just because he is the plus 115 underdog. If you're gonna bet this fight, like it's got to be the dog, so it's got to be him. I'm gonna go with him. I don't know if he submits Paul Craig right away, but I actually just wouldn't even write off Gadzhimira being able to win a decision here, just because it's a bad matchup for Paul Craig, man. Like, he's not. I just don't see him being able to get back up. Like, he's gonna have to sub him off his back in those first 2 rounds.
Which can happen in the
second. No, it can. He can sub him off his back, but like, I don't know, man. Like,
bro, he looks so sloppy in the second and third.
Yeah, like Paul Craig needs this guy to gas. If he doesn't gas, he's so much stronger than Paul Craig. He's just gonna be able to hold him down. It might get really fucking ugly and boring. So I don't know, though. I would never bet this fucking fight, man. You'd have to give me like plus 150 on either guy.
Fair.
Yeah, man. I've disrespected Paul Craig a lot in the past. But you know what, man? I got to be honest. He's improved. I mean, I didn't expect him to go out there and draw with fucking Shogun. He fought really good in that first round, and then he just fucking had bad fight IQ. But I think he wins this fight, man. I got to go with him in this fight. I mean, let's be honest. Antigulov has like 2 minutes of cardio. The guy has no gas tank. He has no chin. I mean, Paul Craig's chinny too, and they both have been knocked out a lot. I think Antigua's been knocked out 4 times, Paul Craig 3. But yeah, this guy has no fucking chin, dude, at all, and no cardio. And Paul Craig is notorious for fucking coming back. And to be honest, I actually think Craig can knock him out in the first round. I would not be surprised at all if Craig knocked him out. I mean, Craig's striking is improving. Is a good jab. His right hand's fucking good. His good pressure. That's one thing about Craig. He's not gonna let fucking Antigulov like start off first. Craig's gonna be in his face, bro. And dude, that guy's gas tank is so fucking bad. He does have probably the better wrestling, but like Ricky said, 100%, Craig can go out there and fucking reverse him. I mean, Craig's a legit fucking beast on the mat, dude. I mean, let's be honest, man. I got Craig, and I'm confident, man. I actually think he's gonna go out there and finish this fucking bum, dude. So I got Paul Craig by first round fucking TKO. I wished, yeah, dude. I think he's gonna pound him out, bro, on the mat, straight up. I wish that this was plus money again because I would be betting him, but I gotta go with Paul Craig here, dude. I mean, if you watch his last 4 fights, he's 2-1-1. He's improving, dude. Like straight up, man. Like he is legit improving. One thing I like about him too is that he's huge at 205, dude. He's a lot bigger than that fucking midget, dude. I mean, that midget, bro. 2 minutes of cardio, straight up, literally 2 minutes of cardio. So I got Paul Craig, first round submission. Next fight, we got Carla Esparza versus Marina Rodriguez, and I'm gonna let the man of the hour, Kelton, go first.
Yeah, man, I got to play here. Really good fight. I'm a big fan of both these girls, honestly. It's just stylistically, we all know how this fight is going to go on the feet for as long as it's there. Who knows how long it'll be there, but I mean, obviously Marina Rodriguez has a massive striking advantage. On the feet, it's a complete mismatch. This is the kind of striker that especially Carla Esparza struggles against, is one that's tall and long and rangy. I mean, you saw the Joanna fight. You can bring up that it was a while ago. Either way, man, like these girls who are good with distance, like Michelle Watterson, like she kept a good distance from Carla Esparza in her last fight. Michelle Watterson arguably almost just beat Carla Esparza, bro. That was a 50-50 fight if I've ever seen one. Unfortunately, it didn't go my way. I had bet Watterson there, but man, like this is a big step up for Michelle Watterson, in my opinion. You're not fighting a former atomweight 5'1" girl anymore. You're up against a girl who's, one of the taller of the division. Great Muay Thai. I think Carla better be shooting those double legs and not fucking around in the clinch in this fight, because she'll get kneed up the middle. She'll get elbowed bad. She needs to, I mean,
So Marina never got taken down in a clinch before?
I mean, she'll rip girls up in the clinch though. Oh, okay. Especially a 5'2" girl like Carla Esparza.
Arm thrown.
And I bet she got back up though, right? Man, okay. So yeah, it's a mismatch on the feet. And then, I mean, Carla has to dive for those double legs. Like, this is a situation where she literally needs to shoot for her life. If she doesn't get them, she's going to get picked off. I do think she'll get one or two. It's just Marina Rodriguez has shown an improved takedown defense and get-up game every single fight. I mean, so she had the debut against Randa Marcos, which, in my opinion, that should have never been a draw. I thought Marina Rodriguez won 2 rounds, and that round should have never been scored a 10-8. I thought Marina won that fight. Granted, it was a draw. Wins her next 2 fights. Meanwhile, I mean, yeah, you can say she's a non-wrestler, but she stuffed 7 out of 7 takedowns against Tisha Torres. And then the last fight against Calvillo, Cynthia Calvillo misses weight for this fight. Clearly, she's a 125-pounder. And she loses the first 2 rounds. And then that was a rightful 10-8, in my opinion. Cynthia Calvillo got a 10-8 round there. Was able to use her grappling there, but like, Marina got back up by the end of the fight. Like, the fight didn't end with friggin' Calvillo on top. Marina Rodriguez is getting better every single time. And not only that, man, like, I know Carla beat Calvillo, but if you watch that fight, Calvillo was getting the better of the grappling, actually. So I have reason to believe Cynthia Calvillo is a even bigger, stronger grappler than Carla Esparza. And not only that, man, if you're watching these Carla Esparza fights, like I mentioned the Watterson one where she actually struggled with distance, the Alexa Grasso fight, man, like, Alexa Grasso is nowhere near, in my opinion, as talented as Marina Rodriguez. She's nowhere near as big as Marina Rodriguez. And Alexa Grasso is, she made that a really close fight, man. She arguably won was it the first or the second round? One of those she arguably won, but I did give it to Carla 1 and 2. But that third round, bro, where Alexa Grasso, she figured shit out and she teed off on Carla, almost finished her. That arguably should have been a 10-8. That should have been a draw. That was a really good round for Grasso, man. And I think Marina Rodriguez, like, she's got the tools to, even if she gets taken down, dude, like, what are the judges going to value more? Like, the time on the feet where Marina Rodriguez is absolutely teeing off, or Carla Esparza laying on top doing absolutely nothing? Like, not only must you pray Carla gets takedowns, you have to pray she keeps her down for at least like 3-4 minutes in these rounds. And not only that, man, like, we're talking about these draws against the grapplers and Randa and Cynthia Calvillo. Marina Rodriguez won 2 rounds in both those fights against real good grapplers. Like, you just have to favor Marina Rodriguez in this fight. I think it should be lined even a little higher. I feel like she's on the up. Well, Carla Esparza is a little bit on the down, in my opinion. I know she's on a win streak, but she's kind of plateaued. Like, I used to give her credit for improving her striking, but like, she went from having 0 striking to having a right hand, and that's about it. Like, we haven't seen much progression since. So this is Marina Rodriguez all day, in my opinion. I put 3 units on her to win by decision. Carla Esparza is a really tough girl to finish. Like, yeah, she got finished by Joanna, but that's when she had 0 striking and couldn't do anything. And then she got finished by Suarez, but Suarez was a ground and pound, and it took Suarez like 14 and a half minutes. So, yeah, if Marina Rodriguez wins this fight, I don't see her finishing Carla. So I just took the extra points, plus 100, even money, 3 units. Let's go.
Yeah, man, I disrespect Carla, man, like every fight, and she always wins, dude. She's improved a lot. She's a good fighter, man. She's a top 5 girl, I feel like, in the division. Her grappling's really good, and Marina's a really good striker, and she definitely is a lot better on the feet, but we've seen her get taken down, dude. So I can 100% see Esparza take her down. I think this is going to be a really close fight. I think if you bet on Rodriguez, you're going to be fucking sweating your ass off because Carla's going to get takedowns here. The thing is, Rodriguez has a good get-up game. And, Calvillo took her back and all that stuff, but that's Calvillo. Calvillo is, a different fighter. But then again, Esparza can 100% take her back here. I would not be surprised. But, like I said, Marina Rodriguez is a beast on the feet, dude. Great jab, great pressure, great in the clinch. She's nasty, dude. I think that she's actually the future of the division, man. So I'll go with Marina Rodriguez with a close split decision. But Carla's 100% live here, dude. So, and I got to go with Marina, though. Ricky, who do you got?
It's a tough fight, man. I don't see how you guys can be. I don't see how Kel can be so confident in Marina in this spot. To tell you the truth, man. She's had hard spots against grapplers, and now she's fighting one of the best wrestlers in the division. Yeah, you can argue Cynthia might have the better jiu-jitsu than Carla, but I definitely think Carla has the better wrestling. And she can just run through those double legs as she's shown to do in the past. And I think. Marina's like, and you know what? Marina's actually older than Carla Esparza. So, I mean, yeah, maybe, I don't know. Carla is older in the fight years, but I don't know. To say like Marina's this new young prospect on up and comer, like she's 33 years old. Let's be real here. It's women's MMA. She should definitely not be lying so steep. I definitely think Carla can do a double leg, and don't know how you can be so confident in Marina. I'm gonna go with Carla just to get two out of three rounds. With the takedowns. I do think she can hit those double legs, take her down. She can even do like a head and arm throw if she wants to. And what if Marina uses those kicks that she likes? I can see Carla catching her kicks and taking her down too. So I'm gonna have to go with Carla to use the wrestling to get another boring, controversial decision. So let's go, Carla.
Man, this next fight, dude, is fucking dog or pass all over. We got Fabricio Werdum versus Alexander Gustafsson. I mean, this fight, man, I've been going really back and forth in this fight. This is one of the toughest fights to call on the entire night because Werdum looked like fucking dog shit last fight against fucking Oleski. But I actually think he wins this fight, bro. I got to go with fucking my boy Fabricio Werdum to get the job done. Gustafsson is just fucking a shell of himself. He's come out of retirement. He's obviously going to have the striking advantage, but he's so fucking done, dude. And Werdum's done too. But you know what? Werdum could 100% go out there and take this guy down. Anthony fucking Smith, bro, got him down and choked his ass out. So I think Werdum's going to go out there, weather the storm. He is chinny as fuck on the feet. But I think he's going to go out there and get him down, man, and get him out of there, dude. I mean, he's his weight class for a reason. I think he's going to be a lot stronger than Gus. And, yeah, man, Gus is fucking – he should not be fighting anymore, bro. He shouldn't. He should be in retirement right now. Or they could get my boy Jiri the fight, and Jiri would fucking smoke him for 3 seconds. But anyways, back in this fight, I got Werdum all day. Give me first-round submission. Ricky, who do you got?
I'm gonna have to go with Gus here. I get the line is off here, but I'm still gonna have to go. I'm not gonna bet it. I'm just gonna have to go with Gus. I don't think Werdum's takedowns are good enough to get it on the mat, and Anthony Smith was able to get it on the mat because he's a good striker. Werdum's a good striker as well, but I think Anthony Smith is a little bit higher. I don't think Gus was thinking that Smith was going to shoot in on him. I'm pretty sure Gus thought that it was going to be a striking exchange. Versus, I think Gus is going to know that Werdum's best chance in this fight is with his jiu-jitsu, and I don't think he's going to let it get on the mat. I think he's going to defend the takedowns. Gus has really good takedown defense. But if Werdum does get it down on the mat, he's going to be in trouble. He is world-class jiu-jitsu, but you got to look at the shape this guy Werdum was in against Olenek, man. Like, you got to take that into consideration because he just looked really out of shape, man. The quarantine life definitely got to him. Definitely gave those COVID-19 pounds. So, yeah, man, I'm gonna have to go with Gus. I think he just doesn't want to. I think he still loves to fight. I just think he doesn't want to cut weight anymore. Cutting weight really sucks. So I think he's going to get the win. Just keep it standing and I'll box him for the unanimous decision, maybe even a TKO. But I don't think Werdum's going to be able to get it on the mat. And if he does, Gus is going to be in trouble. But I'm going with Gus.
Joe, who you got?
Man, it's a tough fight to pick, man. And I definitely think the line is way off. And I'm even going to come out here and pick Fabricio Werdum. It's just, I don't know if I can bet him even at plus 300 just because he looked like pure shit last fight. And I feel like it's going to be really hard to take down Gustafsson. Like, just in general, Gustafsson has an 85% takedown defense. But especially when it's early and Gus has a full tank of gas, he's not cutting weight for this one. That might even benefit him. I think it's going to be hard for Werdum to take him down early. So I can see Gus like knocking him out in the first round. Like, that's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. But if it gets extended a little bit, like the last fight against Olenek, like Olenek started off strong. He was outstriking Werdum. And then when it hit the second round, I mean, Werdum was actually able to out-wrestle Alexei Olenek in rounds 2 and 3. I actually thought Werdum arguably won that fight, the second and third round. And this is coming from someone who took the plus 285 shot against Alexei Olenek. But word on the street is Werdum didn't even have a training camp for that Alexei Olenek fight. And he had a training camp for this one. That might make the difference. And, of course, I mean, he's fighting a guy coming out of retirement. Like, just the fact that a guy coming out of retirement is minus 360, it's pretty garbage, man. Werdum, he's 6,900 on DraftKings. I think he's going to definitely have some spots for me on there, especially since I think he can get the sub and takedowns or his path to victory. So if he does win, he's going to do real well for a 6,900 price tag. So I'll have some of them in there. I can't bet him, though, but I'm going to pick Werdum, man. I'm going to say he eats the shots in the first round, and he's going to take down Gus in rounds 2 and 3. And, I mean, surprisingly, Werdum actually has a combined 7 takedowns landed in his last 3 fights. So, yeah, he might be declining, but shit, man, he can still get takedowns, and he's still a whiz on the mat. So this is no walk in the park for Gustafsson by any means. The line's pretty gross.
Next fight, man, we got the co-main event. We got Lil Nog versus Shogun Hua. Kelvin, who do you got?
Oh, man, this is a good one. Trilogy fight. So they fought in 2005, 2015, and now they're fighting here in 2020. This will be their third fight in 3 different decades. I think that's really awesome, man. But the thing is, I feel like everything is going into Shogun's favor here, man. It's like he won the first 2 fights. He's the younger guy. I mean, granted, yeah, Shogun has taken a hell of a lot of damage, but I would say he's got the durability edge here, and I'll tell you why in a minute. When I dug into some stats, man, I looked into a lot of trilogies in the history of MMA. I looked at about 15 of them, and the guy who has won the first 2 has won I want to say 66% of the time. The younger fighter has won like 90% of the time. Like, it was like 12 out of 15 times. And even the times where the older fighter won the trilogy, it was like he was 1 year older, he was 2 years older. Antonio Rogerio Nogueira is 44 years old, guys. And, man, I know Shogun being 38, it's nothing to be happy about either, but man, he's got a 6-year age advantage here, man. And I was speaking to it before. I believe he's the more durable guy, and I'll tell you why. Like, you watch these recent fights with Tyson Pedro. He got hit hard there. He overcame adversity, won the fight. Paul Craig got arguably 10-8 in that first round, although I didn't have it that way. I gave it to Paul Craig 10-9. And then Shogun overcame adversity, won rounds 2 and 3. So, and then on the other side, you got Antonio Rogerio Nogueira, who's just, I mean, he's just getting flatlined, knocked out. Of course, he can still beat guys like Sam Alvey, who, I mean, I don't want to say anything about Sam Alvey. He's a nice guy. But, yeah, it's just not a good look for Antonio Rogerio Nogueira here. I feel like Shogun has him beat in every aspect of the fight as well. I feel like he's got the faster hands at this point. He out-wrestled Rogerio Nogueira. I believe he can rinse and repeat that again. So I think he can knock him out. I think he can outstrike him. I think he can wrestle him. I mean, it's crazy to be confident in a 38-year-old Shogun Hua, but guys, this is all about the spot. He's fighting a guy that he's already beat twice, and he's fighting a guy that's 44 years old. And not only that, Antonio Rogerio came out and said this will be his last fight. I am retiring. You're going to give me, what, minus 180, minus 175 on a guy fighting somebody who's retiring, who he's already beat twice? Shogun Hua all day long here. I'm going to say he gets a vintage first-round knockout. And I got him parlayed with
What do you got, Rick?
Yeah, same here. Kelvin pretty much just said everything I was gonna say. And to like these guys have already fought in the past. Mauricio Rua is 2-0. He's the younger fighter. You know, usually on these rematches, the younger fighter is gonna win again if they won the first time. You know, so I think that's gonna happen again here too. You know, I mean, he did get he finished Tyson Pedro in the third round. And I mean, if you look at it, like he's actually not that bad in his last. He's like in his last 4, he's only lost 1 time. You know, so not gonna lie, Antonio Rogero, I think he still has some power. So I am a little bit worried if he cracks him early. But I think he's just so slow, man. Mauricio, who is going to be able to just beat him on the feet and take him down if it gets sketchy, you know, just like last fight. Lil Nog has some pretty questionable takedown defense, so I do think Hua is going to be able to like take him down if he does happen to get clipped. You know, just don't get subbed if that happens because Lil Nog still has some good submissions, got good sweeps in the half guard, but I mean it's just basic, you know. Lil Nog, I think Mauricio Hua has his number, and he's going to beat him again for the 3rd time, and Lil Nog is going to retire. You don't want to bet on someone that has a retirement. You know, he's one foot out the door. And, I mean, his last that Span knockout was pretty devastating, man. Pretty bad to watch, you know. So I do think the younger fighter is going to win the rematch. So I'm going to be going with Hua. And I got the same parlay as Kelton does. I parlayed Hua with I have a hard time with his name, but Chimaev. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get better at it because I know he's gonna be someone to look out for. But yeah, that's my parlay too. I think it was like minus 700 with minus 185. I'd have to do math to see what it was total, but yeah, 2 units on that one. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I got Shogun as well, but I mean, both these guys have taken a lot of damage. I mean, I'm pretty sure Shogun got rocked the last fight they fought. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he did.
He got rocked in the first. He got rocked in the first round.
Yeah, and I mean, Paul Craig, I mean, he's not even, I mean, his striking's improved, but he's not a striker. I mean, he like legit hurt him bad in the first round. And let's not even talk about the Tyson Pedro fight. Tyson Pedro might be the biggest jobber in the UFC, period. And he went out there and fucking hurt him too. So I would not be surprised if Lil Nog went out there and hurt him.
Because, but that's the thing. He's coming back in all of these fights, though.
It could happen, man. It's a fight, you know. He could get hurt. I mean,
of course, but like,
it could. And that's what I'm worried about.
Very low. It's very low percentage.
I get it though. Like, I do think that Lil Nog's more washed up than Shogun, but I think both these guys are washed up. But I mean, Shogun definitely has a grappling advantage too. I think Shogun could actually take him down, but I mean, on the feet, I do think Shogun's a better striker. I think Shogun's more durable too, but I just think that Shogun's chin is definitely deteriorating as well, man. So that's why I don't think it would surprise me if he fucking got hurt in this fight, you know?
Yeah, so. Like I said, that's one thing I'm worried about. You know, Lil Nog can still crack. He has, you know, power is one of the last things to go. And I'm not going to sit here and say Rua has a solid chin, you know, because he does get hurt in these fights. So I am worried about it, but I got to go with these numbers here. And, you know, and the fact is that who is younger, he's already beat him 2-0. So, you know, that's just what I was banking on with my bet. And, you know, I am worried about the chin. Not going to lie, man. I'm worried about it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Shogun has a lot better cardio as well, dudes. I mean, Lil Nog gasses out pretty bad. So,
yeah.
I do think Shogun has a lot of advantage in this fight. It's just get his chin held up, but I do think he's a more durable guy. So I'll go with Shogun. I got my finish. Next fight, very interesting fight. Main event, we got Darren Till versus Bobby Knuckles, Robert Whittaker. This is a close fight. I've been going back and forth in this fight, and I like Whittaker a lot. He's, you know, one of the best fighters ever, I feel like, in the middleweight division. But I have to go with Till here, man. I just think that Whittaker's taken way too much fucking damage lately. And I think Till's a sniper, dude. I mean, I can 100% see Till going out there and finishing him, man. I mean, I think Till is actually more technical. I think Whittaker definitely hits like a truck and he has really good striking. But durability-wise, I think Till is more durable. And I think Till can go out there and do it, man. I mean, Whittaker is taking so much fucking damage, dude. Those 2 Yoel fights, the last fight, I mean, all the stuff with his personal life, man. I mean, I think Whittaker is a dog, man. But I think Till can crack him, man, with that straight left and that elbow. And I know everyone's disrespecting Till, that win over Kelvin and all that stuff, but I think 185 is 100% the weight class for him. And I think what's going to happen is Whittaker's going to go out there and do what he always does. He's going to be reckless. He's going to go forward. And I think Till's going to catch him with a counter, man. I really do. Would it surprise me if Whittaker got the win? No, because Whittaker's still a good fighter. But that chin, dude, I mean, he's tough, dude. He's a really tough guy. He's not chinny, I don't think, but it's just the damage he's taking, man. Till hits like a truck, dude. He really does, man. So I'm going to go with Till. I think Till's going to go out there and get a KO, dude. I got Darren Till. Give me second round TKO.
Let me go.
Kelvin, who do you got? Ricky, who do you got? Who do you got?
I think you're freaking wrong here, man. I'm going to have to go with Robert Whittaker here. And I mean, to say that Till is more durable than Robert Whittaker, I don't know. I think it's kind of too early to say that. I mean, Whittaker got knocked out by freaking Israel Adesanya, the middleweight champion. And look at the competition these guys have faced, man. Till's best win is Wonder Boy, I think. And he got knocked out by Masvidal, who can arguably be a 155er. He got knocked down by Woodley, and then he got choked out, and then now he moved up, and I think he got lucky to get Kelvin Gastelum, because Kelvin in that fight, I think he was just coming off of a war from Israel Adesanya. So, I mean, how many fights did Kelvin did not look great that night. He didn't throw that much. Till has a nice 1-2. I'll give him that. His left hand shot is good. He's got that nice straight left that I think he might be able to hurt Rob when Rob is rushing in. But overall, if you look at the volume, Rob has better volume. They're both 6 feet, so it's not like Till has a big height advantage that he used to have at 170. He's not fighting Kevin Gastelum, who's a small middleweight. He's fighting a real 185. I mean, Kelvin Gastelum, he should be 170. He needs better. He needs better diet. Let's be real here. Anyway, I just think Robert's going to be too much for him, man. I think he got lucky against Kelvin. Kelvin's great at 185, but he didn't look that good that fight. I mean, I guess Till can counter Rob when he's rushing in, because Rob does like to rush in and do that hook, that lead left hook he likes. But I do think the volume is just going to be too much for Till. I don't think Till's going to be able to knock him out. I think that's almost his only shot at winning, to be honest, is catching Robert rushing in and knocking him out, because I don't think that he's going to win a decision against Rob because of the volume that Rob is going to put out. And I mean, Rob, if I could trust him to grapple more, then probably be a bigger bet. But I do think Rob's going to win here, and I do think the line should be a bit wider. He's a former champion, and I don't know. I think he's getting a little bit disrespected because of his last fight against Izzy. I mean, this guy beat Yoel Romero freaking twice, and knocked out Jacare. He knocked out Derek Brunson. So I do think he's beat the better he's fought and beaten the better competition, versus Till's win is pretty lackluster. His best win is pretty lackluster. And I mean, who has he really beaten? Cowboy, I don't even know this guy's name, Susan Armani. I don't know. I got Robert Whittaker. I think he's going to smash him, either TKO or just out volume him for a decision.
Man, it's a really tough fight to handicap, just because I think it just all depends on how much has the damage, affected Robert Whittaker. Where's his chin at? Where's his mind at? I think just it all depends on those factors, because I mean, okay, if you take the Robert Whittaker that was in his prime, that was a champion, I mean, y'all got him all fucking day long over Darren Till, am I right? But of course that's not the case. He did have those wars with Romero. He did get knocked out by Adesanya. So yeah, that makes the line close. Originally I thought it should have been lined dead pick'em. Originally, I actually thought the way this fight would play out is kind of like a lot of Darren Till's fights, where it's just kind of low volume. Darren Till can be low volume sometimes. Robert Whittaker is possibly shot. Maybe Whittaker is a little more patient because, rushing in is what got him in trouble against Adesanya. So maybe we just get a 5-round stink fest, but I don't think so anymore, man. I actually think we're going to get a finish in this fight, like within like the first 10 minutes, just because if Robert Whittaker goes and plays the game of being patient and trying to just pick Darren Till apart at range, like that's not going to work just because Darren Till, I believe he does have the reach advantage here. He does use his reach pretty well. I will say that, he was able to use it against Gastelum, Gastelum's smaller than Whittaker, but, Till actually didn't look that bad in that Gastelum fight. I think that was just more of a case of that's his first fight up at a new weight class. He just got knocked out previously. Kelvin Gastelum is, coming off the Izzy fight, so he looked like a pretty fucking scary dude because, obviously he had Izzy hurt in that fight. I'm sure Till didn't want to get knocked out again. And then, of course, it takes two to tango. Kelvin Gastelum was clearly compromised from that Israel Adesanya fight, just like I said he was in the breakdown versus Manson fight. Like, that took a lot out of him, man. So I don't think Till looked terrible there. It was a good performance. I think he'll definitely look a lot more comfortable here, man. It's just I like what I'm seeing from Robert Whittaker here on Fight Week, man. He seems in very good spirits. He looks in very good shape. Saw the stare downs today. Till wasn't as much bigger than him as I thought he would be. Actually, Robert Whittaker looked huge, man. He looks awesome, man. So, of course, you can't look too much into that. Like, putting on for the camera is one thing. Let's see how you actually fight. But just for those reasons and, a lot of other reasons, like the fact that he is a former champ and he is Robert fucking Whittaker after all. This guy's an absolute beast. Big knockout power, great striker. And Darren Till could be fucking tagged, man. If you burst in on this guy, you can knock him out. So I'm going to ever so slightly lean Robert Whittaker. I would cap him more like a -120 or -130 favor here. I know our boy Rockstar Z, he got +137 on Darren Till. That's a good line. I get that. But at this price, I think it's Robert Whittaker. He's going to be my preferred DraftKings play too. So just a quick note here. I thought this was pretty funny. Darren Till actually holds 2 records on DraftKings, but they are not good records. So he has the lowest score for a 5-round winning fight. He only scored 59 points in a 5-round decision against Stephen Thompson. And he also has the lowest score for a 5-round fight in general when he put up 0 points against Tyron Woodley. And not only did he get the 59 points in the win against Stephen Thompson, 53 points against Kelvin Gastelum in a win, only 65 against, jobbers like Justin Ariari. Darren Till only scores high when he gets a knockout, man. So I definitely lean Robert Whittaker as my preferred play on DraftKings too. But yeah, I'll have a little bit of Till. Who knows? He could get a knockout here, man. Like I said, it just all depends on Robert Whittaker. We're going to get a lot of questions answered in this fight, so it should be good.
Yeah, guys. So let's do a recap on our plays. My 2 bets right now are on Jai Herbert and Mike Grundy. As of right now, it's probably going to be it for me. Ricky, we want to do a recap on your bets real quick.
Sure. So far, I just got that one parlay on Hua and Chimaev. But these are some also potential plays that I like, and I'm probably going to look into more. Is I like Robert Whittaker, -130, and maybe even Grundy. And I was looking into Carla Esparza and bet Correia, but I don't know if I can trust them. I think I'd rather bet than Carla, but hard to trust them. But for sure, my bet so far is Hua and Chimaev. Potential plays will be, Whittaker, Grundy, Beth, and Carla in that order. I'll probably only add 1 or 2 bets though. If I
nice, man. Kel, what about you?
Yeah, And I got the same parlay as Ricky. I got Chimaev with Shogun Hua. And then I got another parlay of Movsar Evloev with Tom Aspinall. And then I got Jay Herbert plus 150. Me and Justin sniped the hell out of that line. And then lastly, I got Marina Rodriguez by decision at plus 100.
Let's get it, guys. Ricky, thanks for coming on. You have a spot on here whenever you want. We know you're a busy guy. Anything you want to say to the fans before you go?
It's been cool, man. Thanks for having me.
Nice, man. Words, not a lot of words from Ricky, but that's how he is. Kellen, you want to say anything before we go?
Yeah, man, it was just cool to have Ricky back on. Always welcome.
Yeah, man, I love having Ricky on here. I love when I debate with him because we just fucking go off and fucking talk shit on each other, but we didn't really do that. We didn't do that tonight. We might do that, another card. But yeah, so next week we have, I believe, the Shabazian versus Brunson card. Good card so far by looking at it. Cannot wait. Don't want to talk too much about that main event, but I mean, if you guys have been following bro picks, I mean, I've been really high on Shabazian lately, and I think he's gonna be a future champ. So that's all I'll say. We'll be back next week, and thanks guys for being in the chat. I see everyone saying the Black Country Banger. That is Jai Herbert's nickname, probably the best nickname in the world, to be honest. Please like and subscribe, and we'll be back next week, guys.